Joining me now is one of the two senators who sent that letter to Mr. Edwards, Republican Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. Senator, thanks so much for being here. How did your subcommittee uncover these alleged abuses by Mr. Edwards, and how long have you known about them?
Well, first of all, thank you for highlighting this issue, which I think is pretty important. You know, my involvement really began with that hearing that you showed when Director Sullivan and Inspector General Edwards came before our Homeland Security Committee talking about the Cartagena, the prostitution scandal with the Secret Service. And in the course of trying to get to the bottom of that, which we still haven't got to the bottom of, I mean, there's been a total cover-up. We've been just, hitting roadblock after roadblock. But as we started trying to dig into that particular scandal, we started getting whistleblowers coming forward saying there's some real problems with this Inspector General. And
I know that you have suggested, and these whistleblowers say, that there has been a cover-up of information about that Secret Service scandal. What specifically is being scrubbed? What kind of information?
Well, potentially White House personnel involvement in the scandal. The fact that certainly the solicitation of prostitutes was far more widespread in the Secret Service, and now we're finding with the State Department more widespread throughout the government in these security details. You know, Jake, we're starting to see a very disturbing pattern of this White House being involved, applying political pressure in these independent Inspector General's offices, but it starts with the covering up of the changing of the talking points with Benghazi. Certainly the scrubbing, the whitewashing, the political pressure of delaying reports to after the election. Certainly in the Secret Service investigation. Now we're seeing the same thing in the State Department. I mean, this administration was supposed to be the most transparent in history. It's not turning out to be that way.
I want to read part of a letter that Mr. Edwards, the Inspector General we're talking about, wrote to the Senate Homeland Security Committee in September. He said, quote, "Although we found that these agents, this Secret Service agents in question, engaged in misconduct, our investigation developed no evidence to suggest that the actions of U.S. Secret Service personnel in Cartagena compromised the safety and security of the president or any sensitive information during this trip." Do any of the allegations against Mr. Edwards undermine that conclusion, which is, of course, the most important part of the Secret Service scandal?
It's hard to say. We've been trying for a year to get the Secret Service investigation report. We haven't done it. We've asked the current director, Director Pearson, for that investigation report, as well as just the operating procedures of the Secret Service. We can't even get that. We've reached, roadblock after roadblock, which, really makes me suspicious. And Jake, here's one thing that really makes me suspicious. The Secret Service investigation only looked at records for April 11th. Now, the advance team was in Cartagena on April 1st. Past that point in time, why didn't anybody look to find hotel records prior to that? Is it because there were certain personnel down in those hotels potentially engaged in the same activity that the White House doesn't want us to know about? Listen, the American people deserve the truth, not only here, but in Benghazi, what's happened in the State Department. And the reason this is important is the Secret Service is guarding our president. They're guarding other individuals, providing that security. This is national security and national secrets, national political figures at risk here if we don't restore the credibility of the Secret Service.
And obviously, one of the people tasked with getting to the bottom of this is the acting Inspector General.
It is the Inspector General. That is the individual that we tasked in that May 23rd hearing in 2012 to look over the Secret Service shoulder in terms of their investigation, which was really, I was surprised during that hearing what the lack of curiosity was of the Secret Service in terms of what actually was happening in its own agency there.
I have to bid you adieu, but I just want to ask you one last question, which is, obviously you and Senator McCaskill wouldn't write a letter like this and wouldn't make it public if you did not think that these allegations were with some credibility, or at least worth asking about.
We already have plenty of information. We have whistleblowers. We're giving the Inspector General a chance to answer some of these allegations. Maybe he has an explanation. I doubt it. And since we issued that letter yesterday, more whistleblowers are coming forward.
It's just an astounding story because we expect these inspectors general to to let us know what's really going on. We saw the Inspector General in the IRS case, do a very complicated job and bring it forward, and it's caused quite a kerfuffle.
And by the way, there's an Inspector General that is doing his job, but you've got 5 departments that have been missing Inspector Generals for at least 3 of them, almost the entire Obama administration.
Yeah.
This administration does not seem particularly interested in really having that independent oversight of its own agencies.